The husband is walking with his pregnant wife. An elderly man runs up from behind and bumps into his wife. The wife grabs herself and starts crying. The husband asks worriedly, "Are you okay?" The wife says calmly, "I'm okay." The husband says angrily to the elderly man, "Hey, old man, can't you watch where you're going?" The elderly man says apologetically, "Oh, I'm sorry, I'm sorry." The son recognizes him and says shockingly, "Dad, what are you doing here? Why are you still picking up scrap? Didn't I buy you a house?" The wife asks curiously, "Who is he?" The husband says calmly, "He's my father." The wife says surprisingly, "Your father? You never told me that your father was here?" The son says worriedly to his father, "Dad, you were living comfortably in the city, so why are you picking up scrap here? If something is wrong, just tell me." The father says sadly, "The house you bought for me was taken over by your younger brother." The son says angrily, "What? I bought that house for you. How did they kick you out?" The father says sadly, "They say I'm old, I smell, and I'm always dirty. I was afraid they might send me back to the village. I don't have any income there either, so I'm picking up scrap here just to get by." The son says angrily, "That's completely unfair. And what about the spending money I give you every month? Where does that go?" The father says helplessly, "They took that money too. They said they needed it to pay the house payment and car payment." The son says worriedly, "Why didn't you tell me any of this sooner?" The father says sadly, "You're living at your wife's family's house now. I was afraid my problems would affect your life together." The husband talks to his wife about the money. The wife gets upset and steps aside. He turns to his father and says gently, "I have $2,000 on me right now. Take this for now. If you need more, just ask me." The wife gets upset and starts making a phone call nearby. The husband says reassuringly to his father, "Dad, don't worry about the money. Keep this for now. And if you need more, just let me know." The father asks hesitantly, "Can I live with you too?" The husband says awkwardly, "Dad, it's not that I don't want you to live with us, but you can see that my wife is close to giving birth and I'm already living at her family's house as their son-in-law. If you move in here, it might create some problems." The father starts getting upset. The son then says gently, "How about this? I'll rent a place for you nearby and buy you some new clothes, okay?" The father says sadly, "Son, are you starting to dislike me too?" The son says sincerely, "Dad, how could I ever dislike you? It's just that after we got married, things have become complicated." The daughter-in-law steps in and says angrily to her husband, "What were you just saying?" The father says apologetically, "Daughter-in-law, this is all my fault. I'll leave now." The wife calls out from behind, "Wait a minute. Dad, you can leave, but leave this money here." The husband says calmly to his wife, "Let it go." The wife says firmly, "Stay out of this." She then turns to her father-in-law and says gently, "Dad, please sit over there and get some rest. I need to talk to your son." The father says worriedly, "Daughter-in-law, don't scold him. I won't take this money." The wife says reassuringly, "Dad, don't worry. Go get some rest." After the wife takes her father-in-law away, she says firmly to her husband, "You gave Dad money without even talking to me first. Why?" The husband says apologetically, "I'm sorry, honey. I was in a hurry. I just wanted to give Dad some money so he could take care of his immediate needs." The wife says angrily, "How can you be so naive? I know this wasn't the right way to handle it, but your father is so old. My mother passed away when I was little, and your father raised you through so much hardship and struggle. He did everything he could to raise you. If you can't help him now, then what kind of person are you? I'm not saying you shouldn't help your father. What I mean is that your father doesn't just need money. He needs your company, a home, and his family." The husband says worriedly, "Then what am I supposed to do? I'm his son. Can't I bring my father to live with us? Are you okay with that? If I do that, wouldn't it be unfair to you?" The wife says firmly, "Husband, what kind of person do you think I am?" The secretary comes over and says politely to the wife, "Boss, I'm sorry to bother you. Here's the $100,000 you asked me to bring over the phone." The boss says calmly, "Okay." The secretary says respectfully, "And I've also sent people over to clean the rooms in your house." The boss says appreciatively, "Thank you." The husband says curiously, "What are you going to do with all that money?" The wife says sincerely, "Husband, money can only take care of our material needs, but can it really ease the loneliness in Dad's heart? When we were young, our parents always saved the best things for us. Whenever there was something good to eat or drink at home, they would say they didn't like it, when the truth was that they wanted us to have more. Now that our parents are old, they're like an oil lamp that has been burning for so long that it's almost out. Don't we have enough time to stay by their side before that lamp goes out?" The wife takes her husband to his father. The wife takes the money from her husband, gives it to her father-in-law, and says sincerely, "And Dad, please keep this money. This is from both of us for your retirement, so we can do our part in taking care of you. Dad, from the day we got married, you became part of my family too. You raised your son from childhood and worked hard to make him who he is. Now it's our turn to be there for you in your old age. From today on, you're going to live with us." The father asks emotionally, "Daughter-in-law, is this really true?" The daughter-in-law says warmly, "Absolutely, you're going to live with us." The husband says gratefully to his wife, "I honestly never thought you would do this much for me." If this story touched your heart, let us know what you would have done in the comments and subscribe for more heartwarming stories.